So there we go. We are starting off with our YouTube, a tool to connect and engage with existing and future learners. I want to thank you all for coming and joining us today. It's really great that you're able to make a bit of time to come out and join the session. There will be a few tips and tools I would like to go through with you to make sure that we can navigate together. But before that, I want to introduce myself. Some of you may have come to our webinars before. Some of you may be here for the first time, so I just want to say hello. You have a picture of me on the screen. I work at AlphaPlus as projects coordinator, and to be honest, I have been here for almost 16 years, so a long time for me, in all kinds of roles and positions. My latest one is looking at technology, and we sort of started thinking of ourselves as IT coaches, where we want to try and help you out with technology. The way I look at that is also that I'm an explorer because I go out and look at different tools and resources. I'm a bit of a trainer because I go out and train and provide webinars and face-to-face sessions. I also am a bit of an advocate where I would like to encourage you and make sure that you try out different tools and technology. So in a way, that's how I think of myself. Also a bit of facilitator, trying to come out with different sessions, different ideas and discussions. And a helper, trying to make sure that I can help out with anything you may need help with, any questions, any support. Some of you may know me personally. I'm a very, very big on helping and supporting other people and anything they may need. So at any time, as I always mention, if it's during the session or afterwards, please feel free to contact me or AlphaPlus. We'll be very happy to work with you and help you out with anything you need. To give you a few tips about the webinar and how I'm going to set it up for today, we are going to go through the housekeeping tips just in case this is the first time or you're just new to GoToWebinar. I'm going to have a few questions for you, and that will be a quick poll I'll try to launch on the screen. And those questions will sort of help me figure out where you are when it comes to YouTube. How familiar you are with it, how are you using it, so that I can actually gear the presentation towards potentially some of your specific needs. I want to touch base on YouTube and how it works within the literacy field, some of the observations we have, and get your feedback and a bit of discussion from you maybe. Then I would like to go with you through YouTube features. And there's quite a few slides in the session. I'm going to go through them quickly, but I prepared them that way so that when we finish the session and you access the slides, you will be able to go through specific content and hopefully recreate or navigate YouTube to find some of the features I want to highlight. I also want to talk about how we're connecting and engaging learners using YouTube and making sure that I can give you some examples. And then, of course, at any time, there will be sections for questions from you. If you have anything you would like to add or suggest, that will be very helpful. Of course, we will have a feedback link. I always have to do surveys at the end to make sure we gather your feedback. We find out how are you feeling about the session, what we can do to improve. So all that information is very, very, very important to us. And also, I will let you know about the upcoming webinar for May. So the questions that I have for you, I have 3 questions to look at. And what I'm going to try to do, bear with me for a minute, is I'm going to try to launch a poll. And the very first question will be, do you have YouTube channels? So that should pop up on your screen right now. And what you just have to do is make your selections right on the screen. That's going to start showing on my account as well. So please feel free to select whatever works for you, whether you're brand new to YouTube or if you already have used YouTube in the past. That's really going to help me figure out what information I can share with you. Mainly because if you are an expert in YouTube, some of the session content that I have may be just fairly basic, but please feel free to let me know at any time if there's anything else you would like to add. Okay, so I think I have one more person who may not have a chance to do the survey yet, so I'm just going to wait a few more seconds. And I'm going to close the poll. And I'm going to share the results with you. So what I'm seeing is that 40% of you said that you have a personal channel, but you really don't have something for work yet. and 60% of you said you're very new to YouTube, which is great. I really hope some of the content from today's session is going to be helpful for you, and will sort of give you some ideas how to get started and where to go as well. Okay? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to ask you the next question. And the question is, how familiar are you with YouTube? Even if you're only using it for your personal accounts, that will help me with figuring out what features do you actually know. Because if you're very familiar with YouTube, you will probably know a lot of the features that we'll be discussing today. So again, just take a few minutes to look through the questions and let me know, how familiar are you with YouTube? So far, I have some of you already filled it out, just a few more people who may be still deciding. Okay. You're getting close. So one more person, just to vote. Go ahead. Okay, so what I'm going to do is close the poll again. Make sure that we can answer those questions and move to the next one. So let me close it and share the results with you. What I'm seeing is 29% are somewhat familiar with YouTube, and 71% used to watch YouTube videos but not much else. Okay, so I'm glad to see that, because again, some of the features we'll be discussing you may have seen somewhere else, but you may have never tried them on your own, and those may be the features that you may find useful when working with YouTube or thinking about using YouTube in the future. I promise this is the last question I have for you, and this is, how do you access your YouTube account? So let me launch that one. This is to really find out what kind of technology you're using when accessing YouTube. And I'm trying to see if you're accessing it from multiple devices or maybe mostly from mobile devices. It's one of those interesting questions that we all have sometimes. So just a few of you, if you could vote, let me know. How are we doing? I know some questions may not be very clear, so if they are not, I apologize. I myself, when it comes to YouTube, most of the time I actually use my mobile devices for the YouTube videos. But I think it's because I access the videos through links, through Facebook or other social media, so that's why it's a mobile device most of the time. Okay, so let me close the poll and show you the results. 29% use all kinds of devices, so it could be a computer, a tablet, or a phone, and 71% use the desktop or laptop, which is still very good. Some of the features that you will be using when you're using the desktop version will be slightly different than when you're using mobile devices, but the session for today and all the screen captures for today are mostly from the computer or laptop version. So that way you will have the full version of how you can use YouTube, because it's the most advanced and has the most tools that will be fairly easy for you to navigate. So let me close my poll. I thank you for sharing that. And that's very, very useful for me. And what I'm going to do next is continue with my presentation and have a bit of a discussion with you about YouTube and literacy. It's one of those topics or tools that many of us talk about because it can be a tool that could be used in many different ways. So a lot of programs right now are using YouTube to promote their programs and services. For example, through sharing success stories or promoting the program and services that are specifically available for their organization. So highlighting or listing the programs that they have. You can also think about using YouTube when it comes to the classroom setting, where you can share access to training videos created by others. And we have seen that quite a bit in the literacy classrooms, where students will be going online and accessing TED videos or Khan Academy or any other videos that may be useful for their learning. It could be specific math skills that we're looking at, or specific reading or grammar skills, where you will find a lot of very interesting YouTube videos that may be very helpful. Some of the organizations or even instructors may share personalized training instructions for learners, What that means is that those instructors will actually go a bit further with their skills with YouTube and not only have a YouTube channel, but utilize it to create resources and activities for learners directly on YouTube. So you may decide to record yourself giving your learners instructions on how to do a specific activity or potentially a project. You upload it to YouTube and give a link to that to your students, and they go in and they follow your instructions. So you are actually interacting with your learners in a very different way. You could also set up a class project with the learners where the learners themselves could be going in, recording videos with the mobile devices. It starts to be very, very simple to do. They could use their cell phones or tablets to go out, do specific video recordings, or just even record themselves. They could go on YouTube, upload it. They can edit it directly in YouTube. They could use that to tell their stories, to talk about their background, all kinds of different skills and tools using specifically YouTube. You will talk about Hangouts on Air, which is one of the features of YouTube. And what it does, it also allows you to organize online events, which is live broadcast through Hangouts on Air. If you haven't seen one or you were thinking about trying one, it's something we're going to touch base on today. And it's becoming more and more popular, specifically when you have Gmail users who are actually already using Hangouts. Then also, when you think about YouTube, you can use it to teach digital and practical life skills. So when we talk about adult learners, and many of our instructors come back with those suggestions as well, is that our adult learners have kids, and those kids are doing all kinds of things online and learning a lot of new technologies. Our adult learners also want to know how to have and how to use YouTube or other skills that their kids or their friends are using. So when you talk about YouTube, it's also teaching them the skills that others have. And it's also looking at such skills as knowing and understanding your privacy settings, or how to browse the internet, or how to share a video with somebody else, which goes sometimes beyond the regular reading and writing and math skills we are thinking about, but introduces the digital skills that are important to all of us. Now, before we really start talking about YouTube and using it as a tool, I really want to sort of take a step back and think about other things you have to think about before using YouTube. And that's because sometimes we just jump in. We look at a tool, we get all excited, we want to use it. But before you do that, just ask a few questions so that you can get a better understanding how you really want to use it and what do you want to use it for. So what is the purpose? Why I'm actually using YouTube? Am I using it to share activities with my learners, or am I using it to promote a program? Depending on your answer, the way you're using and setting up YouTube will be slightly different. And who is the audience? Same idea. If it is a funder that you're trying to address potentially through your videos, it's going to be different setup, different videos than if it's actually a learner. What content will you be posting? Who will manage and update the content? Is it only going to be you? Is it going to be your colleagues? Is this account only for you or for the program? Those are the kinds of questions you should be asking before you start. And the reason for that is that you may go on and set up your own account and do all this amazing work with setting it up, and then an administrator may come back to you and say, you know what, I want you to use YouTube, but I want you to use a specific account for our organization, not your own account. And all this work you have done may not work. So if you ask and plan for those questions in advance, that is always useful and a good step to start with. And also, what do you expect to achieve? So when you post a video and you have 30 people coming to look at it, so you have 30 views, is this what you were expecting to achieve? Or were you expecting 1,000 views or more than that? Or the 30 is fine because this is only your learners accessing the video. So those expectations and the goals you set are going to be driving what are you doing with YouTube and how are you using it. Another questions you may think about is, will my learners have access to it from my program? Not long ago, just a few years ago, and maybe sometimes even right now with some agencies, we have seen YouTube being blocked because learners were going on and they were looking at all kinds of videos. Less and less happening now, but a lot of programs were blocking it. But in reality, what YouTube can do for you is just so amazing. So when you're looking at YouTube or trying to use YouTube, make sure that it's actually unblocked in your organization? And will you be tracking the statistics? Will you want to know how many people look at your videos? How many visits do you get? Which videos are the most popular ones? And will you be using this information for reporting when you're collecting all this information and going back and preparing final reports for the ministry or any other funder you're working with? Because that information can be very useful and beneficial. Imagine developing a video and having 20,000 views. This is an amazing achievement, so you would want to report that to the ministry. But even if it's a small number, that you're getting more people in the door because they're learning about your program and coming into the program, that's also an amazing achievement. And knowing and understanding that the YouTube videos you're posting or how you're setting it up are the driving force is also very practical and useful. Please, at any time when I'm switching between slides or going on, and if you have questions, feel free to use the questions box to comment or to ask questions. I will be able to stop and answer them as well. So now that we took a quick look at thinking about YouTube, what could you use it for, some of the other questions you may want to ask, let's take a close look at YouTube. And I'm going to warn you, this is going to be quite a few slides with all the features. All of those are screen captures. I'm not taking you live to a YouTube account right now, mainly because it can be a bit intimidating. There's so many features on YouTube that it's fairly easy to get lost. So what I prefer to do today is to take you through the slides, highlight some of the main features for you, so when you go back and try to navigate on your own, you will have some guidance and ideas and tips that you can use to make sure you don't get frustrated with some of the features of YouTube. As many of you know, when it comes to Google services, and YouTube is owned by Google, sometimes the navigation is not very logical or changes over time, so it can be a bit frustrating when learning how to use everything. So what is YouTube? As many of us know, it is basically a video sharing site. Many of us have seen funny videos, cats jumping, dogs barking, cute pictures, cute videos. All that content is very often posted on YouTube and shared with many of us through social media, through links, through videos, through different posts. But mostly the main feature of YouTube is the fact that you can either upload your own videos or you can find videos that were posted by others and share them with your followers or your friends. Now, one thing to remember, and this is actually fairly interesting, is that in the past you were able to go to YouTube and set up your own account and you were a YouTube user. Now what really happened is that Google has combined a lot of its services. So what happens is that when you have a Google Plus account, you automatically receive a YouTube channel. And that YouTube channel will have the same name as your Google Plus account. So just to give you an example, I have set up an account for myself in Google called Alpha Session to make it easy, to make it fast and quick for me to access the information. When I set up the YouTube channel, automatically that name becomes the name for my YouTube channel, which can get a bit tricky. For example, you may decide to use info@dixonhall.ca, for example, as your email to set up your Google account, and you will say info or info services as the name of the account. What may happen is that that may become the name for your YouTube channel. And you may not want to have that. You may actually want to have your YouTube channel called Dixon Hall. So I will go through later a step to show you how you can change or create a new channel to deal with the issue of naming your YouTube account. Because you may find that it's a bit frustrating when setting it up and not getting the name you want to use for your channel. You will see AlphaPlus account has AlphaPlus video as a channel because AlphaPlus was already taken. But a lot of times those services and the way they're set up, it's changing. So a few years ago you may be able to change the name. And right now some of my colleagues are saying they're going in, they're still able to change the names. Others are saying, no, I can't. Whatever I set it up with, it's staying because it's tied back to my Google Plus account. So keep that in mind when you're setting up your own account. There's so many things you can do with your YouTube channel. And some of you mentioned that you may have your personal accounts or you may go online and watch videos on YouTube. But there's a lot of different features you get when you actually have an account and you start using and exploring it. So usually what happens when you log into your YouTube channel, you will get a menu, which will be on the left side. The menu will sort of have some of the specific and fixed features, so you will see them all the time. And the very first one, which will be your home landing page, will be what to watch. Those will be recommendations that YouTube is trying to give you. And believe me or not, my first access to YouTube, I received notifications and recommendations to watch all kinds of ghost videos. I have no idea why, but I was sitting there trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do with this? So just so you know, there is a way to actually delete some of the recommendations so YouTube will not show them again. But when you start, you will be getting recommendations, often based on what's happening on social media, who is promoting something on YouTube, what Google wants to promote, so those recommendations will be changing as well. Then what you will be getting is the ability to set up your own channel, and that's what we'll be looking at in more detail. You will also be able to have subscriptions. What that means is that you are logged in and you can go to another organization's channel or another person's channel and subscribe to it. Anytime that person or organization has a new video posting, you will be notified through subscriptions to let you know that there's a new video from that organizational person. So you don't even have to go out and search and look if there's anything new. You can go through your subscriptions and see what new videos are being posted. There's also a history section, and what it will do, it will remember all the videos you have been watching. So if somebody sends you a video of a quick, cute cat playing or a dog running, and you're watching it, and you're logged into your YouTube account, and keep in mind that with Google, what that means is that as simple as being logged into your email and then navigating to your YouTube account, Google will remember and put you in the browser and the YouTube account that belongs to you automatically. That's why it will keep history of that as well. So all that history will be there. And even if you forget that you're logged in and this is being tracked, it gets tracked. So as I was preparing for the session today, I was quickly looking at my history channel or history section, and I was finding videos from so many years ago that somebody sent me, and they had nothing to do with what I wanted to have on my account or visible to other people. It was already there as well as history. So it's something to keep in mind. It's not always visible to general public, but if you're sharing the account with others, keep in mind that they will see the history of what was watched when somebody was logged into that YouTube account. There's also a really nice section for watch later. What that means is that you can find different videos and mark them to be watched later. So if you have 15 minutes break and you're looking at interesting videos you may want to share with your learners, you may not have time to watch them, but you can mark them to be watched later, and then maybe at the end of the day or during your lunchtime, you can go back to those videos. So that's sort of the first section of YouTube menu, where you can have and go and manage your account or organizational account as well. Then there's a section for playlists, and you will see that in my case I have cute, I have literacy, and I have training. Those are playlists I have set up for myself, and those playlists could be videos that I upload or videos that I find on YouTube and add to my own playlists. So for example, if you're an instructor and you're looking for math videos, you can create a playlist called Math and go online and find interesting videos that you think will be very useful as activities, tutorials for your learners. You can add them to your playlist, and you can tell your students, please go to this playlist. There's all kinds of resources for you that you will find useful. Or even yourself, you can go back and say, I remember this amazing video. I think I marked it in my playlist in math. I can find it very quickly. So it's very useful to use playlists or groupings of videos that you think will be useful to you, potentially visitors to your YouTube account or your learners. There's also subscriptions, which is a totally separate or similar idea of being able to look at my subscriptions. The difference between those two is that in my subscriptions, you're just going to get a list of those, and under subscriptions at the bottom, you will see the numbers of new videos coming up. So there's a lot of different things you can do. But that's just quick look at the menu. We're going to take a closer look. But with YouTube, you can do even much more. There's all kinds of information you can do when closed captioning, where you can add closed captioning in multiple languages. So you may have learners coming in who speak English or French. They may want to switch between closed captioning to be able to get the translations. So let's take a closer look at actually getting into your YouTube account. If you're fairly new or if you just started using Gmail, for example, sometimes it's not as obvious how you can go and get into your YouTube account. So the way I usually try to do it is I try to go through the long way. You could, of course, go in and say youtube.com or .ca, and you can try to log in. But you should also remember that when you're logged into your Gmail account, you automatically are logged into your Google Plus account. So you will see for my organization, I have a plus symbol. And you have this square symbol there. Those are the applications that your Gmail account gives you access to. And one of them is YouTube. So when you're in your Gmail account or you accidentally log into your Gmail, you just have to click on those squares, pull down on the menu, and you will see YouTube. You click on it, and you're taken into your YouTube account, automatically being logged in. So that's a very quick and easy way to access your YouTube account. If you are using a mobile device, of course, you can download your YouTube app, set it up to make sure that you're logged in, and automatically you'll be able to access all the videos you have potentially to watch later or subscriptions you may want to follow. So there's many, many different ways in which you can access your YouTube account. So let's take a closer look at that menu we quickly looked earlier, and also specific features. So those are screen captures, so please keep in mind that all this content changes as we go. But here is the main page. So here I am, I logged in. I know I'm logged in because I have my icon in the top right corner. There's my symbol for my account. And automatically I'm taken into the very first item, which is what to watch. And what that means is will be all those recommendations that are suggested to me to look at. Keep in mind that when you're logged in, this menu may not be visible. Sometimes it disappears or hides. So you will have this tiny symbol on top where you can click on it to open and hide your menu. So it's good to know if you don't want to use the menu, you can always hide it. But if you're looking for content information, that's where you will go to access it. So you will start off with what to watch and the menu of all kinds of different things. So with the subscriptions I mentioned earlier, you will see a listing of subscriptions I have. And if there's anything new, any new videos, I will be getting information with numbers telling me there's 11 new videos or just 1 or 3 and so on. So the system is trying to help me out and make things easier. Now the next item on the subscription is my channel. So I'm logged in, I go through my menu and I have my channel. As I mentioned, the account has Alpha Session name because that's what was given to me as I set up my account. And the image that comes up is controlled by your Google Plus account. So if you ever wanted to change that image, for example, if it was an organization that you have set up, you have to go back to Google Plus to change that logo. You cannot change it directly here. The background image with the clouds and the mountains, that's something you can upload directly here in the YouTube channel. You can click on it and it will allow you to upload a new image as well. Now, when you go down, you will see that this is my channel, and in that channel, I have different menu items. I have home, videos, playlists, channels, discussion, about, and search. So all those features I can navigate through and control. So when I upload new videos, they will be showing up in my videos section. When I set up playlists, they will be showing up in playlist section. So that's where visitors to your site will be going in to access the information you have. This is your view. Your visitors may have slightly different view as well, depending on what you decide to set up for them as well. One thing that I wasn't very careful about before, but I think is very important, is the channel tips. It's on the right side on your My Channel section, and those tips are going to tell you how you can improve or change different features and settings. As you know, those special features, new features are changing all the time. So it's always good to keep a track of what is being recommended. For example, I just recently, actually just today in the morning, I realized that one of the new things that showed up for me in my tips was that I can set up a special URL link for my channel. I wasn't able to do that before, but now it's possible to do that. So those tips are very handy and useful when you're trying to work on your account and set it up as well. So that's my channel. Let's take a look at subscriptions. As I mentioned, it's going to be only a listing of subscriptions. I have 19, and it's going to tell me everything about the channels that I subscribe to. The history, as I mentioned to you, that's all the videos I have watched. So watch history of all the videos I looked at. There's also search history. And keep in mind a note that you can clear all watch history, which is good to know if you find that you may have looked at videos you don't want to be showing here. Or you can pause watch history, which basically means that in the future, if you look at videos, they will not be stored or saved here in the history as well. The watch later feature, which I really, really like, especially if you're busy or something comes up. The playlists I have mentioned to you, it's actually pretty easy to create playlists in YouTube. So here is the playlist I had. You have seen them earlier. I have a cute one, literacy and training. Keep in mind, this is my testing YouTube account. That's not official AlphaPlus account. But that way I can show you different things and I can test different features. So in the cute, I had a very nice video about cats. But if I don't have a playlist yet, there's always a way for me to click and create a new playlist. Just add the title, decide if I want the playlist to be public or private or shared by a specific link. You can do that as well. You click create and it's right there. So it's very easy to do directly within your account. Now, if you're watching a video and you really liked it and you wanted to add it to your playlist, the feature for that will be right under the video. So I'm watching a video, I'm logged into my account, right underneath the name and who it came from and subscribe buttons, there's add to feature. What it will do is will tell you, oh, if you like this video, just add it to your playlist. And which one would you like to add it to? Again, I have the cute, literacy, and training. And if I don't have one or need to create one, I have an option to create it right there. So it's very easy to add new videos to your playlists. Subscriptions are really, really good way for you to get access to different videos. You can just subscribe and get notifications when new videos are posted. Or it could be a really quick way for you or potentially your learners to go to interesting websites. So for example, you could subscribe to TED videos or Khan Academy or GCF Learn Free YouTube channel and watch and access those through subscription link. It may be a bit easier for you as well. So subscribing to a channel is one of those very easy features as well, but sometimes it's good to point it out that whenever you're watching YouTube videos, your title of the video is right underneath, and below that you will see who actually posted the video, who is the owner, what channel is it on. So in this case, the video Kitten Therapy is sitting on Soul Pancake account. So if I want to follow and see what other videos they're posting, I can click subscribe and basically right away be subscribed to their account. So if they post something new, that will be a notification I'll receive in my YouTube account as well. Any questions so far? Please, if I'm going too fast, if there are any issues, please let me know. As always, I'm just trying to give you all this information so you can use it later. So let's say I found this amazing video and I really like it, and I want to share it. It could be shared in many different ways. I can basically, under the video, look for a share button, and it will give me all kinds of different options. Keep in mind that sharing could be done in many different ways. It could mean sharing it on social media, so you will see that you can use Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all kinds of different other social media channels. But there is also an option to embed a video, and that's where you will go to get a code so you can embed the video on your YouTube channel. And also you can just directly email it to someone. Or if you want to, you can just copy the link. So there's all kinds of different ways to get the share. What's interesting, and sometimes we don't even pay attention to things like that, that right below, I hope you can see that, under the link for YouTube video, there is an option to select at what point do you want the video to be playing. See how it says start at 2:07? So I was watching the video and I stopped at the 2 minutes 7 seconds mark, and I can share it and it could start at the same point. So if there's something you find that's interesting on the video and you want to share, you could actually share it at the point where you think it's important to somebody to watch. They don't have to watch the entire video to get to the point where you think it's something they have to see. So it's a really interesting feature as well. Uploading in YouTube is fairly interesting. There's so many different ways and options to do that. I'm just going to touch on it quickly because as I know you're fairly new to YouTube, so you may have to go back to those features a few times to get comfortable with it. But I just want to show you that when you're in your YouTube account, usually in the top right corner, you will have your login information. So you'll be signed in or signed out, and there will be an icon for that. Right next to it will be upload button. So when you get there, you just click on upload. And what happens is you will get this box with different options to upload videos into YouTube. The very basic one will be to go and find the file on your computer and drag it in or drop it in and select if you want it to be public or private. You choose that right away. But there's also different tools that you can use. You can bring it in from your Google Plus account. You can actually use a webcam capture. So imagine yourself as an instructor. If you have a laptop or a computer with a camera or even mobile device, you can actually just capture yourself talking, potentially providing instructions, welcoming your students, all kinds of different messages you may want to share. You record yourself and you upload that into YouTube very quickly. You can also do photo slideshow. You can look at Google Hangouts on air. I'll touch on that a bit later. And there's also a video editor. So after you upload that video in, you'll be able to go in here and make the edits as well. So there's many, many different ways in which you can share the video on YouTube. Now, if you actually uploaded the video, and this is a video of my cat when he was still a kitten and snacking on new different food that we gave them, I uploaded the video through the steps I just showed you. So I actually just uploaded the file. And after it got uploaded, it took me to the video editor. And what it is basically a tool that sits within the YouTube account where I can come in and give it a name and look at the track and all the minutes. So this is a 24-second video. I can go in and I can actually cut it. I can add closed captioning to it if there was any speaking or any message in it. I could add closed captioning in English. I could upload or add closed captioning in French. You could do it manually or by putting in a file. I could do transitions. I could add pictures in between. I can add music. All those tools exist directly right in YouTube. So you don't really even have to have any special editing video. You could come in here and do it directly within the account. What's also interesting is that after you have set up the video and you could go in and edit it, the Creator Studio is actually a section where you manage all your videos. And that's the crazy part because you now went from just managing your YouTube video subscriptions and playlists, and now you are in this video mode with all the features and closed captioning and permissions and subtitles. All this information is all within one account, but it's not very easy to understand how you ended up here because we were taken, when we were uploading the video, we were taken automatically there. So sometimes we don't even know how we got there. So just to, before I show you how, I just want to show you that the Creator Studio has all kinds of video features where you can add the information and settings for the video, descriptions, permissions. All the features are in there as well. So the system will keep track of all your videos that you're uploading and allow you to go back and change them and update them as you go. So really to understand how you get there, if you didn't know from the beginning, is you always go back to your sign-in icon in the top right corner of YouTube. What's really interesting is that if you right-click on it, what happens is the system pops up and tells you, you have Alpha Session channel, you have 0 subscribers because that's my testing one, and there's a Creator Studio right there. So you click on that and it takes you to the video management side of YouTube. It is not as simple sometimes when you're only on the menu on the left when you're managing your videos that you subscribe to through channels. It's kind of 2 access points. One through the menu, it's a bit more complicated. So whenever you need to go and work on the videos, just use the Creator Studio that goes through your sign-in icon. That's the easiest way for me to think about it, and that's how I use it because sometimes it can get very confusing. I mentioned to you at the beginning that when you set up your account, you may end up with the name of the account you don't want. So in this case, my account is Alpha Session, but I may want to decide that I actually want to have AlphaPlus account, or if it's specific project or purpose, I may need to have a different name than what I have right now. So rather than creating a separate YouTube account, what you can do is you can create channels, different channels. So through one account, you can manage multiple channels. So you will see also, again, through the icon in the top right corner, when I'm looking at the drop-down menu, there was the alpha session and the creator studio I showed you earlier. You can also click on the cog wheel, and what it will do, it will take you to additional settings, and one of them will be see all my channels or create a new channel. And that will take you through the steps and show you, okay, you have alpha session, you're logged into it right now. You also have a separate one, which I created as testing, which was Jessie the cat for my cat video. But also I can go in and create a new one. So you can have more than one channel with one YouTube account. Keep that in mind, because depending on the projects and the things you're doing, trying to manage multiple accounts in YouTube can get very complicated, because each YouTube account is tied to Google Plus account and vice versa. So anytime you create a new account from scratch, you're duplicating Google Plus accounts and YouTube accounts, and all this gets very, very confusing. So sometimes it's easier to just create a new channel within the same account. I hope that's clear, and if not, please let me know. Any questions? I hope I'm doing okay and I'm not overwhelming you. I know it's a bit technical, but I really feel that there's a lot of features in YouTube that if you are aware of, they may actually attract you to YouTube a bit more, because it could give you all kinds of things that you may be looking for and not know they exist. And if it sounds a bit overwhelming, you don't have to do all this work from the beginning. You can just start by creating a channel and following other channels and seeing what they're doing. So that is very useful to know and do as well. I included this slide, how do I duplicate a video, if you were pretty advanced with YouTube, because I wasn't sure who was coming to the session today, and this is something we learned just recently here at AlphaPlus. So in my case, what happened is that we had Evernote webinar in March, and the presenter who was joining us for this session, she created amazing videos for us on how she's using Evernote. And accidentally, when I was uploading them, I uploaded them into a channel that is my private channel, not AlphaPlus account. And I was trying to figure out how do I duplicate or copy the video from one channel to another without having to go through all the steps of uploading it again. And it turns out there is a way. And to do that is that when you go and you have your video, you can have that video set up as a Creative Commons license. What that means is that you allow that video to be copied or reused by somebody else. It could be just you, because you can go in and change that back to public or private, or you could actually leave it open. So you may have videos that you allow other people to repurpose. So in my case, what I did is I went to the account and in the settings, changed it to Creative Commons license, and then left the account where the video was sitting, logged into the new channel where I wanted the video to be, went to the video description, and in the video description under Show More, I saw a license. And in the license, it will say Creative Commons Attribution License, which basically means you can reuse it. And at the bottom of that, it says Remix this video. So what that basically means is any video that has a Creative Commons license, you can go in, you can remix it. So if I'm in my AlphaPlus account, I can go into any other account that has a Creative Commons video. I can go to the description, find the license. If it allows for remixing, I click on Remix this video, and automatically the video gets copied into my channel, allows me to give it a new title or description, and repurpose it in any way you want. So what I did in our case is I went into the account, changed the setting to Creative Commons, copied it over to my other channel, saved it there as a new video so that it shows on that channel, went back to my original channel where I accidentally put it in, and removed the Creative Commons license. So I just use that feature for myself. I'm not allowing other people to repurpose it, but for the time being I needed to copy it, I made that exception for myself to repurpose that video on a different channel. So if you ever find that yourself in a situation like that, this is a really good way to make that change on your account, or duplicate the video, or allow somebody else to duplicate the video from you. So if you have amazing video about literacy services in Ontario and you really like it, you can change the license to Creative Commons and say, all 2 or 3 programs I'm working with, go into that account, copy that video into your channel, and use it with your learners or funders or potential clients in the future. So it's a really nice way to collaborate as well. And I can see, Angela, don't you have to publish where you got the video from? Yes and no. So what happens in this one is it seems that YouTube will actually put a note sometimes that where the video came from. But because I'm allowing it Creative Commons Attribution License, it just happens automatically. It's not that difficult to do, and you don't have to worry about that. So you could, in description, you could say you're remixing it from somebody else. In my case, because I was just using the wrong channel to post it, I didn't have to do that. But if you are going into another program or organization who has Creative Commons license, you could, in the description, say, this is a video produced by this and this organization. We are using it with their permission. So it's always nice to attribute, but in my case, I was just using it internally, so I didn't have to do that. I hope that answers your question. So broadcasting Hangouts on air. How many of you have heard about Hangouts? Can you let me know in the questions if you have heard? So just say yes if you heard about Hangouts on air. So Angela, you have heard about that? How about anybody else? Let's see. I'll just give you a few minutes. If you could just let me know. If I don't see any more yeses, that means that you're fairly new to it. Okay, so fairly new. If you have a Gmail account, what happens is with the Gmail account, you get a feature called Hangouts. And that is usually thought of as a texting or chatting tool. It allows you to communicate with other Gmail users through a chat box where you can send text messages, but also it allows you to talk to each other through videos, something similar to Skype, but through the Gmail account. And what Gmail has done is they said, okay, if you have that feature where you can talk to each other through videos, we are going to allow you to broadcast a video that you have through your Hangout account directly on YouTube, because Google owns YouTube now, so they can do whatever they want. So what they have done is that you have a Gmail account, you had your Hangouts automatically there, you can log in and literally broadcast your video. So whether it's a webcam capture of yourself talking, or you set up a video camera connected to your account and have 2 or 3 people just having a discussion, you can actually broadcast a video through YouTube live. And I will share later with you, there's a conference that's going to happen in the future where they will be doing all kinds of information about education and training through Hangouts. So it's an amazing way to sort of figure it out. If you have Google Plus account, it's also a way to access your Google Hangouts on air. But what really happens is that the way I'm sitting and presenting to you right now, I'm using GoToWebinar for that. I could be using Hangouts, and you as somebody who subscribed to participate could be watching me live on YouTube and just listening to me talking and seeing me on the screen as well. So it's a really nice and new feature that's being added. Everybody's just sort of still learning how to use it, how it works. But if your program, for example, or you as a teacher, you could actually organize broadcasts with your students or with your colleagues, or as an organization, you could organize a conference and broadcast all kinds of different training, support, information through Google Hangouts on air. And to do that is, remember how I said you can go and upload information in YouTube? It's the same process. You click on upload and you come back to this screen where you can upload the videos, but one of the options is Google Plus Hangouts on air. So you click on broadcast, and what will happen is you're going to get this sort of setting option where you can give it a name, you can promote it and what it is, how it works, what's the description, and you can say if it's starting now or later and who can actually see it. So the audience is actually very interesting, because when you say public, Google Hangouts is going to list it as a live Hangout, and anyone who has Hangouts on air or YouTube can go in, find it, and watch it. So you're broadcasting yourself live to anyone. Or you can actually select a specific group of people. So you could broadcast yourself potentially to your students only, or to your colleagues, or to a program you're working with. So you could be selective in where you're broadcasting. And what then happens is you can do all this information and share the information, and it gets recorded. So when it's live, somebody can watch it live. When it's done, it gets saved in YouTube automatically. So it's an amazing way to actually share information and resources, conferences, training, by broadcasting yourself through Hangouts on air. And if you are a Google Plus user, you can access your Hangouts through there as well. It will tell you what other Hangouts are happening live, so you can go through Google Plus to access your Hangouts as well. I don't want to go into more detail on Hangouts at this point because it's almost like an extra feature that's an add-on, but I wanted to mention it because you need to know that this exists. This could be an amazing tool and feature for you. Depending on the learners you have, if you need to connect with some learners who may not be able to come to the program, this could be a really amazing way to make those connections or even to provide training. So what I would like to do next is ask if you have any questions. And if you don't, I have a few more links that I just want to show you. This is where I'm hoping to go a bit live. I know I'm careful about time. It's 3:54. I think it's going to take 5-6 more minutes just to show you different things because I hope you will be able to access those later on. So I'm not going to take too much time from you. But what I'm going to do next is, just give me 1 second, I'm going to launch some links for you because I want to highlight specific features. So let me go to this site. And this is going to play for me, probably not for you. But this is a video, and I hope you can see it. Let me check. Okay, so it should be displaying on your screen very soon. This is a video from a literacy program that talks about literacy services. So if you're an agency that's trying to promote what you're doing, attract new clients, attract new learners, this could be a very simple way to create a video and post it on YouTube. The reason I want to share this one with you is that it has 358 views, not a big number, but you will be able to see how this program has combined videos with other features to talk about the services. So you can see there's zooming in and different tools that they use, which makes the video quite a bit attractive and easy to watch. It could be something that's posted on your website as a tool to share information and resources or just to promote your services. So this is the first link I wanted to show you. Again, please feel free to comment or send me questions. If there's anything you know about that you have seen that you really liked and would like to share, that would be great as well. Now, I'm bringing up now a video, an actual channel from Toronto Public Library. And the reason I want to share this one with you is you're looking at me being logged into my account, but looking at an account from Toronto Public Library because I subscribe to their account. Now, what they have done is quite a few different features that I want to highlight. You will see they have their logo. They have the image that they're using to promote their services. But there's also features that you could add to your YouTube account to make it more interesting and to connect it back with some of the other services you provide. So in this case, they are able to connect to their website. They also connect to their Google Plus account, Facebook account, Twitter, and Pinterest. All that I can access directly through their YouTube. So it's a very nice way to include extra information. And this setting is done through links on YouTube channel. I will show you later. I have all those as resources for you. The other piece I want to show you is a feature that YouTube added probably a year ago. And that feature is, they call it channel trailer. This video right here, right underneath the Toronto Public Library options, this is a video you can use as a message. And I encourage you to follow this link after the session because it's amazing. This person is actually introducing Toronto Public Library and talking about the services they provide. So it's not only a success story that we are used to. It's actually a way to tell people about the organization. So if you're creating your YouTube channel for an organization, this could be a very practical and useful introductory video for anyone coming in to learn about you, your services, and the channel that you have. What can you find on this channel? What information is available? So go and look at that channel because it's amazing how they set it up, and it has those features that sometimes we forget about, that we don't even know that exist, that you could actually add links or you could add introductory videos, which they call the trailer. So keep that in mind and access it and test it out. The other link I want to show you, I have 2 more, so just a few more. I'm running out of time. I apologize for that. I wanted to show you a playlist. So in this case, this is Khan Academy, and they have a playlist for all kinds of different videos they post. Check it out. See how this is actually organized. Personal finance, calculus, probability, anything you may be looking for if you're using videos with your learners, if you're trying to give them activities, tutorials, resources. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? You can find so much information that will be available to you and to your learners. So there's two ways you can look at it. First of all, you can just subscribe to this channel and have access to all this information. You could have your learners go to specific sections depending on what they're trying to learn. Or you can duplicate this idea and create your own channel and create playlists based on the needs of the potential visitors you will have, whether it's fundraisers. So it could be a way to share videos with success stories. Why do we need some funds? Whether it's potential clients. What can you get from this program? What kind of services do we offer? Where can you go to access our services? Or learners, as I said, and you can have their own customized playlists specifically for your program and your learners right in your YouTube channel. So I absolutely love the way they have organized this information. You can see all this information directly on their account, and you can go and have fun with it and explore it as well. The next one will be a site that you may be familiar with, ABC Canada. A lot of similar features that I already shared with you. So, for example, the logo, the image, the links that they provide, the video that they have as well. But the reason I wanted to bring you here is that they have specific videos that they have picked and grouped. Check this out, 15 minutes of fun, financial literacy, and so on and so forth. So they have grouped videos or feature videos in a slightly different way. So that may be, again, a way for you to access or share specific featured videos directly on your account. And one other thing that I wanted to show you is, look at the address, youtube.com/user/ABC Canada video. So that is the customized link I have mentioned to you earlier today, that it's something you can do now. You can go into your settings and actually get your own URL account. What that means is that if you're sending learners or clients or somebody else to your YouTube account, and if they're not following a link but they're just trying to find you, it's sometimes easier to have the specialized name for you, just to be more marketing prone or for promotional purposes, but also to make it easy for your learners to go there. Sometimes when they're typing it in the URL address, it gets tricky. They mistype and it gets more complicated. So getting your own URL, that's fantastic. That's really good to know about as well. And the last link I want to show you is, just give me 1 minute for that, is information about Google for Education. Remember how I mentioned Hangouts? This is going to be a conference called Education on Air, where there will be 2 days of Hangouts where people can register and follow and watch all kinds of different events and conferences through YouTube, and they will be broadcasting it through Hangouts on Air. So I included that link for you because I think it will be a neat way for you to see what's happening and how somebody is actually utilizing Hangouts for sharing and organizing conferences. If you haven't tried that, try and Google Hangouts on Air. There's so much information on it. You'll be able to try and explore and see how it works. But it's really, really neat way for you to share, to organize different events, and even if you want for your learners to have a project where they do their own Hangouts as well. Okay, let me quickly go back to my presentation because I want to show you that in the slides that you may have already opened, or I will send them a message after this session with all the links, including the presentation slides, you will have a section called Additional Resources, and that's where you're going to find links and information about some of the feature sites that I shared with you. So if you just want to learn about YouTube, there's About section here. GCF Learn Free has an amazing section about YouTube, including some of the new features that are fairly new, so it's good to go there and learn more. I came across this Think tutorial site that's really neat, very basic. You go in and it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do something. So this is a very nice way to also learn some of the features and information. There's another YouTube tutorial for beginners that's practical and useful. And because I mentioned the channel trailer, the one that we have seen right on the home page of your account, I include a video where it explains how to set this up, because sometimes it's tricky to find all this information. Like, I would never even know it was called channel trailer until I did a bit of research on that. So to make it easier for you, there is a link for that. There's also a very good site with marketing ideas and tips for using YouTube, where the consultant or the person creating the videos gives you tips on what images to use, including her own image. If you look at her image, it has an arrow pointing down to show the website and to direct people to a website address for the next action step. So it's amazing to see all this information as well. So the last thing I want to share is a page where I want to let you know about a link to my survey. Please, please, please do the survey at the end of the session. This is really, really important for me, because that's the only way for me to get feedback from you, besides the questions we are sharing. So I'm including the link directly in the chat box, so you should receive that. It will also be in the messages, so if you don't have time to do it today, you can always do it afterwards. It will be in the message. And finally, just quick information about the upcoming webinar. It's on Instagram. One of those things when we have younger generation talking about Instagram, using Instagram. So we would like to take a bit of time to explore it for you and learn about that. So that's coming up in May, on May 19th at 3 p.m. again. So that's my quick run through YouTube today. I hope that you found some of this information useful. I apologize if I was going a bit quickly, but I hope that you will be able to use the information and resources for either testing or trying, or at least understanding a bit more about YouTube and what you can do with it. And now I'm going to just open up the floor to any questions, any ideas, or anything that you may have and would like to share with me as well. So that concludes the official session of the presentation. I'm going to turn off recording, and thank you for participating in that.